Hi, Virginia.
Hey, how are you guys? It's,
We're happy to see you.
is everybody doing well? All right, so I did this with the first session. I didn't make the second session do it, but I want everybody to stretch. I can't, everybody has their video off by now. I know this is what happens with my kids in school too. They just start turning their videos off. They're like, I'm so tired. This has been an hour and a half. Hopefully you're stretching, guys. Ugh. All right. All right, hey, are you guys ready to figure out how to make your game fun? So you kind of learned how to make a game. You saw kind of how these cartoon characters come to life and how you turn those into game mechanics, into characters in games. And so what I'm going to do is share my screen, which, by the way, in the last session, I talked for a very long time before I realized I had actually not shared my screen. So can everybody see this? Awesome. So is your game fun? How do you know? All right, you've come up with this great idea and you've basically started to pull all the pieces together, and now you want to know if it's fun. Well, first off, you might want to know what does fun even mean? It's very subjective. Everybody has their own idea of what fun may be. Some people think it's really fun to go and find their personal nook and space to read a book. Some people think it's a lot of fun to get on a pogo stick. I personally fall off and hurt myself on a pogo stick. I don't find them very fun. Some people think it's fun to ride a bike. Some people think it's fun to play games and different types of games. Well, to get an idea, I looked up the exact definition of fun in the dictionary. It's lighthearted, it's enjoyment, it's amusement, it's entertainment. My favorite is boisterous joviality. I mean, how loud and happy can you be while you're playing a game? Well, what's really interesting is that on average, we are, this is globally, spending 8 hours a week playing video games. But there's very little that's been scientifically, measured and determined about why they're fun. And so there was a little bit of research done at the University of Essex, and they shed some light on this. And what's interesting is people find games, millions play them and find them fun because they get to try on characteristics that they might like to have as their part of their ideal self. So I love it. Laugh out loud games. Yes, I agree. I love it. I might do that one day when I start my own game company. Thank you. You guys should do that. Take it, take it. But it's like a coat, right? You go into the store, you try a coat on, it's got to fit right. If it doesn't, because you're going to wear a coat, especially if it's cold where you live, you're going to wear that coat a lot. Or a hat. Like nobody wants to wear a hat that's too tight or too big, or it's going to fall off or blow off in the wind. So, but that's what's so great about games. There's so many games, there's so many genres, and you can try them on and you can decide if you like it or not. It doesn't matter, but that's why games are so much fun, because you can do that. So take a look at these games. Some of these you guys actually mentioned and talked about as some of the favorite games that you play. Well, these games have got to be fun, right? Because people are playing them. Well, why do we think they're fun? I mean, I love this dad and his son like playing games. They look like they're having so much fun. They really are. Well, what is that? Well, they're going to probably give a great review about what they're playing. That's an opinion. That's their opinion of the game. But me watching them and how they're clicking and their engagement into the game is actually, I see that they're not only spending time, they probably bought this game, so they spent money on it. That's data. And why? Why we think this might be fun? Well, we as game makers kind of look at that data. We look at what are the top grossing games? What are the games that people are spending money on? What are the games that people are playing? So down here, Animal Crossing. It's number 3 behind Call of Duty. But it's got a Metacritic score of 90. So that means out of 100, and if you're averaging it takes over 18 different reviews to get your Metacritic score. But that's a lot of people that thinks Animal Crossing is a great experience. And it is. That's why it is a top seller. Now, there's other games that may have a lower Metacritic, 79, among us, and that's probably because the the graphics. Yeah, they're not great, but it is so fun to play. It's so fun to play with people. It's like Clue, but even better. And then just the videos that people have made of Among Us, they're just so much fun to watch. It's just like it's expanded the experience. It's an entertainment game. And 200,000 people, so this is on Steam, 200,000 people plus are playing that at once. So we get that feedback. And so we can start saying, gosh, what is it about Among Us that is so interesting? Well, how do we get the feedback to know why those games are fun? And how do you guys get the feedback to know that your games are fun? Well, first off, you collect data, and that's quantitative feedback. Then you gather opinions, and that's called qualitative. So the quality of the game, quality is hard to measure, but you can talk about it. You can get the quantity from how many people give you a high thumbs up quality, and then it becomes quantitative. So let's talk about that a little bit. Qualitative data answers the why. So if I ask you, do you like this game, or why do you play this game? You're going to give me feedback. It's much more one-on-one. There's smaller sample sizes. But let's say I get up to, say, 50 people that tell me why they like the game. Well, what I want to do at that point is I actually want to look at what those people are doing in the game. And that's by answering the what, the where, the how, the when, and the who. Who are they playing with? What are they clicking on? This becomes based on numbers and larger sample sizes, and you can get statistical analysis on this. It's much more objective data. I didn't ask a question, the user took action, and that's why it's objective. It's very subjective when I ask you a question. Even how I ask the question may change your answer. So, but which is better? You need both. So as you guys are making games and are starting to research to find out if your game is fun, so what you do when you play and how we feel when we play those games tells the whole player story. You really do need both qualitative and quantitative feedback. So here's a question. So how tall is she? Well, you guys are going to go, well, my answer actually for you, because I asked you, how tall is she? I'm going to say she's really tall. And then the next question is like, how tall is really tall? And in this instance, I'm talking about my daughter. Well, what you need is more data. First off, so you might want to see a picture of her. But what if I told you I was tall? We're all sitting here. And so in reference, our height is all right here. We all look like we're pretty close to the same height on Zoom. But so what if I gave you more data? What if I said she was 5'1" and she's in 5th grade? Well, I know that's pretty tall. Plus I can see her, when she stands next to her friends, she's pretty tall. But the next piece of data is what's most important. The average height for a 5th grader is 4'7". And if my daughter's 5'1", that means she is above average. So she is tall. So that puts her in the tall versus short versus average. So how do we use feedback that we get in games? And so I kind of wanted to show you an example of, so in terminal2.com, it's a website where we actually have games that teach you to code. And we actually have a new feedback mechanism where you can type in feedback. Piece of feedback that we got was very boring. So the team was pretty sad. They were like, why is it boring? Why did they type this in? Well, what is great is we actually have the ability to go in. If somebody has logged in, we actually have the ability to go and watch their play session. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what happened in their play session. So this is their clicks, and this is from a program called Hotjar. And you guys can also use this and place this on your game and kind of see how they're clicking. As you're seeing, this person's kind of clicking around. They're trying to figure out how to play. How do I actually get to play game? Oh, they finally click on play now. So that took a while. And you'll also see it took a while to load, and it didn't load, and it didn't load, and it didn't load. So I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to go back to what we discovered. We saw that it was a 50-minute video. We saw that he clicked around frantically. It took a really long time to load. He went and read the side notes, this individual. They were trying to engage. They really wanted to play the game. And it's great that the user actually stayed that long. And in the end, when it did load, we found that the way that they were clicking, they didn't understand even how to play it once it loaded. So a PM, a product manager who analyzes that data, looks at that video, saw that it was boring, said, you know what, we really need to check the performance and loading time of our games. And for those games that are going to take longer to load, we should actually make a recommendation based on, okay, we see that, you know, this game may be taking a while to load, try these games instead, because we do have games that are faster and don't take as long to load. And then in the sidebar, give them more information on how to play the game. You can never give someone enough information how to start, how to play the game, and how you want that game experience to be. So we also use heat maps, and a heat map is where, remember where you saw that person clicking on the screen? Well, so when you load a website, where your mouse goes and what you click on, if you have this program, if you use that program Hotjar, we can tell where people click. We can also give you, for example, so let's say one of you loads in terminal2.com, you might get this screen, the other might get this screen, but inevitably what we found is that instead of people getting into the games and actually signing up, they were clicking on get all the games, and that was actually taking them to a marketplace. And we were seeing that most everybody was clicking in this right-hand corner. So we found out that this is the place people want to click. But what we had them doing when they clicked there was going to the marketplace. And at the time, we actually wanted them to get engaged and actually sign up first. And that was not happening. So we changed this here, and then we'll actually show you. So we changed it to sign in now. We also did what's called an A/B test. And so we sent 30% got this screen, 30% got this one, and 30% got this one. And we were able to see which one, which button in the location on the difference between being on just a plain color versus being there. This was a video that was playing, which one works better, which one will engage the users to sign up. And so through the testing, we see a gradual trend because we eventually dialed it in, we got it right, and we're starting to see more users sign up. Now, when you analyze this kind of bar graph, you see, wait a minute, what's a spike? Well, spikes happen, and there's generally reasons for that. This was the Hour of Code week for code.org. And so we got a lot more signups because there were just more people that were coming to the site. And so you can say there, okay, there wasn't anything in the A/B test that we were doing where we changed the game or changed the site. That's just because we had more traffic. So this is something that Brian actually gave me from GameStar Mechanic. And GameStar Mechanic actually has this built into the game. It tracks all the X and Y coordinates that the player avatar goes on the screen. And so let's say you made this game and you discovered that nobody's getting to level 2, because to get to level 2, you have to get to the star. So what you see is what's happening right here. This is where people are dying the most. And it's because this is a really small area and all of your enemies are bunching up right in that area. And so you, with this heat map, you can find out why this level may not be successful and where people are getting hung up. So another piece of analytics is how, are people coming back? Have you ever heard this word engagement or stickiness? Well, as game developers of both games and sites, we want to know how many people play the game each day. Remember, I told you there was over 200,000 people at a time playing Among Us? Well, you can actually track how many people are just playing it in one day versus how many people overall have played it for the month. Well, if you do a DAU divided by your MAU, you can get a percentage of how sticky your game is. And so this is interesting for you guys. You could actually do this on any site that you have that let's say you create a website and you've had 120 people that have come to it in a day. And over the whole month of February, 2,000 people came to that site. Well, you can put 120 over 2,000, you get a 6% stickiness. And if you look over here for media, which is, if it was a game site, a media site, you would see, 6% is a little below average. It's not bad. It's definitely not horrible, but it's, it's not as bad as this. But what you're finding is that it's not at average. So that kind of lets you know how you're doing. It gives you a sense for how your site is doing. So I kind of want you guys to give me some data. So I'm going to copy in here. And I'm going to send this to everyone. Did everybody get that? Great. If you guys could click on that. And I'm going to take the survey with you. I want everybody to take the survey. You're going to find out how old I am not. On my PC. And go ahead and answer this. I wish I could play more, but never enough time. Let's see. Really like simulation, dance and party games. Oh, I love Among Us. Okay, please put in your 3 favorite games. All right, and then submit. And then what's great, you guys, is I can actually watch. I'm actually seeing you guys in here. I can see your responses as they're coming in. Keep them coming, guys. This is really fun.
I'm sorry, Virginia. This is Marianne. Hi. I don't see where the survey is on my screen.
Oh, you know what? You let me put. Can you see it in the chat message? Do you have your chat open?
Yes, I just opened that. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Can you send your 11-year-old to me?
Yeah, yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. The things she says to me, it's so fun. Mom, you just don't get it.
Thank you.
You're doing great, Marianne.
I'm trying. All right. Thanks.
Uh-huh. All right, I'm going to see you in here. Marianne, the 18 to 24-year-old. Come on, I know you're answering that.
Yes, I just answered that.
Good. I love it.
They should have parentheses to have like a little ×2.
Yes.
Next to that. Yeah.
Oh, great. Because you could be teaching computational thinking at the same time.
It's very true. Very true.
So as your answers are coming in, I kind of wanted you guys to see where everybody's landing. So most everybody's on a laptop. A lot of people play games on the phone too. And that is actually increasing. So it used to be kind of flipped on its head, but many more people are actually just choosing to play games on their phone. And a lot of people do both as well. 7 to 8 hours. I have noticed that is kind of a popular answer. Some 1 to 2, some 11 plus. No shame there, especially in the pandemic, especially if you're playing with friends. So let's see what everybody's favorite. Puzzle games. I love it. Action adventures, simulations, sandbox games, real-time strategy. Okay, Among Us is coming out. Hopefully I didn't sway everyone's opinion there, but Minecraft, Roblox, and then what I'm really loving is to kind of see what people are adding in. Pokemon Go, oh, that's great. Crusader Kings, Rocket League, competitive Tetris. Oh, that's right, somebody mentioned that in their video, that they really like Tetris. Roblox, GTA. Oh, good, there's some more Sims players out there. Yay. My old stomping ground. Okay, and then which games? So this is what I love, is you can really kind of see that high percentage. So Minecraft, everyone's saying it's fun. So I kind of want to understand why do people think Minecraft is fun? And this is where qualitative really matters. The quantitative, I can see everybody likes Minecraft, but I don't know why. And so you guys can do this with your games as well, is then you get to read why somebody thinks that is fun. So this is kind of the opposite of that person's just sending in it's boring. This is where I got the quantitative first, and now I get to see the qualitative of why they think it's boring or why they think this is the most fun for you. They've loved building games ever since 2015. Some people think it's challenging. Creating my avatar in home, being able to build anything with friends. I think that's great too. And I love the Pokemon collect them all. That's awesome. So I want to go back to, I want to show you guys how you stack up. And so this was actually taken during the pandemic. It was Rent Cafe, 4.7 thousand people did this survey from 18 to 56 and over. And you'll see during quarantine, the amount of time that went up that people were playing games. And what's really interesting is to see Call of Duty in this age group was really kind of one of the highest games. And it's actually, by the way, in the United States, it's one of the top grossing games as well. And then Animal Crossing, yay, comes in. And we have Fortnite, and look, there's The Sims still in there. I love it. And then Candy Crush, that's your phone game, absolutely. Minecraft, of course. And your sports fanatics are still out there, which I think is great. You know, and actually Madden NFL 20 is I think in the top 15 for top grossing games as well. But so this kind of gives you guys a feedback of what qualitative and quantitative feedback is. And I wanted to see if there's any questions from the crew out there. And I also want to find out, has anybody done focus groups with the games? Did anyone do a focus group or have somebody play their game for them before they submitted? Does anybody want to answer? Anyone out there going to tell us if they actually focus tested?
I think we have a shyer group today, Virginia.
That's okay. That's okay. Not me. I love it. Thank you, Marianne. No, but you guys, I really encourage you when you're focus testing, when you have somebody and you're standing over their shoulder and they're playing your game, they're probably going to get stuck and they're going to say, how do I get past this? So instead of telling them what to do, turn it around as a question. So let's say they like, I can't figure out how to move on. Let's go back to right here. God, I keep getting stuck right here. What do I do? Instead of telling them, ask the question, what would you do? How would you get past this? That's how you get even better qualitative feedback when you're in a one-on-one session. Don't answer it for them until you absolutely have to, when they're getting super frustrated. Then at the end, when you say, did you like the game? And they go, yeah. And then don't stop there. Ask why. And they'll start and just ask more questions. Have a list of 3 to 4 questions to follow up every question you ask. So you'll get more qualitative feedback. Now, quantitative, generally, kind of like that survey, for us as game makers, we generally like to normalize our answers at 50 entrants, 50 respondents. So let's see how many we have right now, how many people have responded. We've gotten 26. I mean, we're getting close. So at this point, I could safely say we have a majority of people that answered. We're 41 to 55. I love it. The parents. The next group was 14 to 17-year-olds. And then I can kind of safely say, look at this, the phone and PC laptop, they're actually kind of neck and neck now. And this is where you can go in, the more you get, the more answers you get, you can start saying with certainty, with more quantitative data, that this is actually the feedback that you can trust. So you can make changes to your game. Well, I encourage you all, now that you've made games and you've made these fun games and we've all played them and we love them, I encourage you to now focus test them, and so you can make changes and updates and maybe extensions or expansions to your game. I encourage you to go out and create your own survey about your games and put it into your game and get people to play that, or try out Hotjar and kind of see how people are clicking and what they're doing in your game. And best of luck as you guys move forward. And I hope that I can work with all of you one day.
Thank you so much, Virginia. It's such a wonderful day to wrap, or wonderful way to wrap the day, and including with your sessions. Excellent. And all of our speakers, excellent. So thank you. And thank you all of you for joining us. You can rewatch this on YouTube. You can share out with friends and family who may have missed it. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And if there's any questions, Virginia, is any way that anyone can follow up with you, or they want to continue the conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me put there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, guys. Congrats to everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.